Jumping back to the theme of prim and proper fashion in the Victorian age, one way to appear as an upstanding member of society was to keep your head up. Literally. A straightened posture was praised amongst the societal types. But why train yourself to keep your neck straight when you could just have your clothes do it for you? This is where the stiff high collar came in, and for a while, it had a chokehold on men's fashion. While giving fantastic circulation restricting support, it also served a secondary purpose of providing its wearer with a crisp and clean appearance. You see, with the many layers of Victorian fashion, undershirts were mostly covered up, save for around the length of your neck. Getting your clothes cleaned was expensive and time-consuming. Why clean a shirt that barely anyone sees anyway, when you could just give the illusion of cleanliness? High collars were detachable by design, so instead of washing an entire shirt, you just needed the collar to look clean. The collars were ironed and heavily starched, making them extremely rigid, able to keep your chin up even if you're feeling down. But these restrictions and constrictions led to some afflictions. For one, these things were just plain uncomfortable. By the late 1800s, the collars pretty much reached the jawline, further exaggerating the posture to the point of ridiculousness and therefore danger. Even physicians at the time warned of the inherent problems of the collars, including their tendency to put too much pressure on the carotid arteries. Those are the ones that supply blood to your brain. Don't want to be blocking them things. Although a rare occurrence, it was still a risk. Unfortunately, it was a risk that took the lives of a few unlucky gents. In September of 1888, a young fella by the name of John Cruzy drunkenly passed out on a bench one night in Druid Hill Park in Baltimore, Maryland. According to his autopsy, John was slumped over with his head drooping forward, pushing his stiff high collar into his neck, which cut off his air supply and choked him to death. There was also the case of William Dillon, who was found dead in his hotel room. He died from asphyxiation after severe indigestion had swollen his neck in his sleep, compressing it to his collar. Yeah, it's a completely stupid way to go, but fashion back then was more about class than comfort. Luckily, the age of the stiff high collar was about to fold. Shifts towards more casual, comfortable clothing began to take hold in the 1920s and the 1930s. You also had the electric washing machine make its way to market around the same time, so dirtbags could now clean their shirts and no longer needed their collars. Thankfully, the high collar remained out of the spotlight for a while. But then that shit came back to haunt us in the 2000s. God, I could practically smell the Axe body spray.